What up, everybody? Day two with having a stare at this ugly primate. I apologize for that. Kata is taking a little IRL time, and I know I'm not nearly as excited, but the markets are excited, and let's dig right into it. We have been having some interesting things. Um, Give me a sec. We should be good to go. As we always say, the crypto total market cap, money coming in is where we want to see these retracements just gradually stepping up along the line. And this is on the daily. We're holding in here, this section, and this is great. And we always say we want to take these little breathers, these little breaks before we take off again. Take a little breather, a break, take off retracement. And then we want to get outside and hold on top of that 3 trillion area, because that shows us the confidence in the market. The money is not rushing out in large, long increments. It is happening fast, as we know, and that's why it's important to watch. And if you're trading on a lower time zone, you should definitely be watching these trends of when the money is getting ready to leave. But we're still on the upward trend, so there is no reason to panic. We're still on this trend line. Our lines that these are from our daily bear bull indicator, still just layering, following, going along, and doing everything we want the market to do. Healthy positions. Yeah, these are all firing our FA critical greed, because that's a lot of money coming in, and we haven't had this in a long time. But the healthy retracement, staying above the median of the Bollinger Band, this is textbook. We're just continuing to go the path we're on. Not financial advice, fucking course, and of course, black swan events. And the pullback is coming. Pre-halving, post-halving, there's going to be a take profit zones where we're going to see those big pullbacks. When? Well, right now, our indicators aren't saying that it's coming anytime soon. But we know when money leaves fast in crypto, it can leave fast. And if you're in alts, this kind of a thing, you can see how fast you get punished. So you really have to be wary of fake outs and just market conditions in general. We'll see things. We'll see, there'll be signs, as they always say. When grandma's asking you at Thanksgiving dinner, maybe a sign. Dominance, speaking of cooling off, is pretty much just little ups and downs, which is good because we're still looking for this cross. We want to go into the micro bear, and we want to get these downs. That's where our alts run. It's prime for the situation. It wants to do it on the technical side. We've had our exits on Bollinger. We're right in the median. The conditions in the market are right. Money is flowing in. Confidence in the market is still there because there's a lot of fresh money coming in. So hopefully we start to see these big down dominance. And remember, when a lot floods in, dominance does go up just because there's a lot of money just coming in buying Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, the boss. Oh, ugly squiggles, but it still follows our point. We moved this down yesterday. We had it a little higher when we first drew this way back here in time. And this obviously, the all-time high at the point for close for Bitcoin caused a pullback and a little bit of panic. We've beaten that day to death, but if anything, that day does show is strength because of how fast it all came back in all levels of the market, from Bitcoin, Ethereum to alts. We still have nice spread. They're more straight than they are on these curves where we thought they might be coming, but it's still following the same trajectory. We're in uncharted waters. Anybody saying anything outside of maybe some fib levels, um, Elliott wave patterns without getting too deep, fifth pattern wave is right around that 100 somewhat thousand mark. And that's why a lot of people say that number. The truth is, nobody knows. And when this wants to curl and go down just as fast as it's been coming up, which hasn't been fast, I've been saying this for 2 years, we're in a bull. But we're finally near this point, the most exciting point, and retail's not here. And there's a lot of cool projects and things going on in this space right now. We're just starting to see the development now of a bull run where people are getting excited, collabing, sharing, and experiencing the innovations they're working on, finding new people. I think Entangle, a prime example of that they dropped their token late last night, early this morning, depending on where you are, or yesterday, which is NGL. How that wasn't taken, not gonna lie, amazing. And it's more of an interoperability. I think we're going to see a lot of those kind of things in the fascinating tech side of this. And there's lots to happen. If we remove the mess of these drawings, I apologize if you're new, we can see on the 4 hour, I mean, look at that. It's just walking up the median with these healthy retracements. From its all-time high. I mean, we're off to the race. Whoops. We're off to the races better than anything. The craziest thing here is it's all just uncharted territory. But when we have healthy growth and healthy retracements, and we're only just getting started. Ooh, 4 hour. My bad. That's why. We can start to see where these parallels are. This here of this big up, it's kind of like this first up. We still have a couple of major pullbacks to go. This one here, not a major pullback. This was the all-time high pullback. That's not a pullback like this, like this, like this. Everybody agree, okay, these are bull runs, right? We can all figure that out. Higher highs, higher lows. Started doing that back in here. All right. Well, technically, we've done it since here. And we consolidated, and this is when everybody was calling me crazy. But let's look at this bull run. I kind of figured right now this was our disbelief here. This was our disbelief here. All right. What is this? That's a 30% pullback. It's coming. And I'm not like doomsday. We're going to do exactly that. We're going to pull back, fuck off again. We're going to pull back to guess what? Probably our all-time high. Date stamp that. Thank you, Primo. Never thought of that before, but it's a no-brainer. You know, so we're going to go to undiscovered territory. We're going to have that euphoria. People are going to finally cash out because there's mad gains already. If you haven't cashed out during mad gains, cash out some and leave some to ride. Trust me. And then we're off again. We haven't had that 5 wave yet. So yes, we have lots of room to go. We're just starting to get retail. We're on the macro level, what is quite possibly a super cycle. And that's what I've been doing a lot of DYOR on lately. Not the coins. I've been in trades. I'm showing you trades. We're finding these. Right? Now's the time to really hold. If you're not swing trading just for fun, and I said, oh, it should be a small part of your thing, you know, now's the time to hold. You know, your work was in these areas. Consolidating here, we're up. And if you're not in and you're having the FOMO, wait for a red day, buy, hold. And buy something that's just bumped. I'm going to give you a bunch. We've already done a bunch. If you've been watching, we've hit a ton. Holy shit, did a couple hit yesterday. Hopefully you got them. So Bitcoin doing everything we want it to do and showing strength. And why is it showing strength and I'm not freaking? Is this healthy retracements? Don't listen to the Twitter feeds. Don't listen to what everybody's talking about out there. Listen to data. Listen to our tools. Those don't lie. Those didn't cloud your judgment. I mean, they can if you dig in and out all time frames, but you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm rambling. Carrying on. Ethereum. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize I was marking up the show. I can't remember if I did this on the show or if I was talking the other day with it. But same thing from when we first started. What are we, show 47 today, I think? It's followed exactly everything we thought except for this. We called it pullback. We didn't think it was going to be that big of a pullback. And now we're mellowing and we're in compression. And it hasn't had an all-time high. All the ETF shit right now, everybody's a little, that's what this is. You know, is the ETF going to go or not? I don't know. I don't really care. I still think ETH, if we even just look at it on a technical level, is ready to go again. Let's have a quick markup. I'm going to start the rectangle out here because here it's resistance, whereas here it's support. You'll hear I love W's or M's. I love trading in the W and the M formations, double tops, head and shoulders, all those kind of things. So we're bouncing around this 39.38 to 40.90. And we're compressing. It wants to give us a micro bear on the 4 hour. It's giving us that indication. But stochastic, giving us an entry. RSI, cool as a cucumber right in the middle. Volume, people are taking some profits, but there's still a lot of people buying. I've said for a while, I don't think ETH has had its day. We have the Dagoon or Dagoon or, oh, I'm going to get, oh God, I'm glad I don't have too many trolls on me. Whatever it's called. I apologize. I probably just butchered it. There's the update. I don't know if that was today or coming. It's to make layer 2s more cost efficient. I'm going to go off Wix here because this is kind of gross. So we've been showing support here, so it makes sense to me. We're going to bounce around in this area. And this, I think, is a sell the news, buy the rumor event to the all-time high with ETF. I think this is actually people concerned. We've been having lots of nice ups. I think right now, good news, this is going to rocket. It's going to go past its all-time high fast, I think. It's just personal opinion, not financial advice, of course. But I do... It's kind of like, how can they not pass it? But at the same time, it's Gensler and the SEC in the United States, and everything else. You know, no harm, no foul. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. This kind of like rendered to me right now. It's doing everything we want, but it does have the possibility to come down to these levels and retest these levels with bad news. Uh, will it get down to the weekly support? I think that's where a lot of the wicks would be at, is in this level. Do I think it's going to get there? No. No. Is it a possibility? Yeah. Um, so this one to me is interesting. We've called it for so long, for so well. This is now at the point where I'm like, I don't know, to be honest. And if I'm in Ethereum, which I was, I should kind of tell you everything. This is where I took my profits the last little while. I've been rolling it into some of these other trades that I've been sharing because of this. And this to me is, if I'm looking at getting into something to make money, it's not where I'm doing it right now. So there's the money flow cycle. That to me, this is the most important factor if you're trading in crypto. Understanding how these four pieces work together while you're trading will add more percentages to your success. And stacking even just small amounts of percentages on top of each other when you're compounding it is incredible. It makes all the difference in the world. So we did a madness of a whole bunch of coins yesterday. We sometimes do it on the hunt. We've had banging, just absolute bangers. We've had over 300% returns. We've had some amazing calls, and we've still been hitting it. EOS we brought up where we've got lots of room to run still if you've missed it. And I think we're in a position on the daily that's been holding this support. We've compressed. If we look at some dirty, quick, we've come up. We just call this like that, right? We've come up and we've bounced in here. Typically, we need that retest, and then we're off. We've had troubles here, but we haven't had this kind of compression up to this weekly. We've been down here, for Christ's sake. This thing is pumped. No shit. This is bad news Tuesday. This is people taking profits, consolidating with lots of room to go. This is one of those, another one, that will look like some of these tabs down here later. My opinion, not financial advice. Fuck, of course. Man, is that ugly. So that's on the daily. If you are looking for entries and you're not in EOS, wait to see here. It's holding this line for a while. You can put, as Supreme Gimto calls them, some stink bids in, right? Zoom in a little more. You can see just, ooh, man, one day I'll learn, I promise. We can just see a few hours ago, we missed a solid entry here. There's going to be ups and downs. You don't want to watch and wait, grabbing here to go. Not a bad spot, right in the median between the two areas of resistance. We were just down here. Pretty sure probably going up here with how the market trend is going. So that's what I always say. You can, you don't have to sweat if you don't want to miss a pump. You can just buy right now at the price. There you are. There's a red candle. We say buy red candles. It's right also on a daily support. You want to put a stink bid in, put something in like down here, right? We got support resistance here. We got a nasty wick that happened here. A wick that happened down here, right? Highly doubtful this will hit, but it might. We don't know. But if it hits, now your dollar cost entry is down here, right in the middle. And say it did, and you put 500 and 500 on each, got 1,000 in the game now. You're looking at 7%. Was that swing? How long? From body to body, 5.33, 16 hours. Makes sense. That would be about half. Are we on the way back up? Or are we going on our way down? When we zoom out, we see a nice picture. We want to make this cup and handle. This is going to be one of our trades that we're going to watch over the next month and go, remember when we told you to get in like down here and then over here and then over here, then over here, then over here, and then over here. You get the point. And remember, algo. Quick zoom out. You missed the cup and handle, the entry on the weekly, but we've been cooling off. That's exactly what we need to do when we get to these levels. We need to cool off so we can pump to the next one. Right? That was 8% in that tiny little spot in there. Now, this is on the watch list. You're not in Algorand. If you are, congratulations. Full transparency, I am somewhere in here. There it is. Right. So we're probably going to have a little curl. How much? We had quite a bit of movement today to hold steady on this line. What does that say to me? Strong strength. But depending on money flow market, we're in a sell position. We're in overbought coming down. Michael Bull is telling we got legs to run. Looking like a little curl, maybe. Put a couple stink bids in. Going low or not. Zoom in. You can see when we break the median, it's quick. Doesn't stay under the median long. So that to me says, hey, if you see this under the median and it's not in a downwards trend, because if it's a downwards trend under median, might be a good quick stink bid. Starting to curl. Makes sense. Weekly resistance. Gold line. This is why we keep different colors. Daily support, weekly resistance. Holding the daily. So now on a 4-hour, just by having color-coded lines, I have all that information. We were overbought by our NFA fear and greed. Cooled down, stayed on the support. Made some nice up, 3 channels up. Coming down till we get 3 channels down, breakout around in here, and then up again. These little curl overs. Start to use the TA on the lower when you understand what's going on in the bigger picture, zoomed out. We know we don't buy green candles. Can't find a red one on a daily in a bull, might be tough. Zoom in. One inch. Here was our entry here. We've just been walking up this line. Walking up this line on the daily. And we're going to continue to walk up this line. So if you're not on 1 inch and you wish you were, zoom in. Wait for a red candle. You know, you're going to see them. It's going to come down close on the 4 hours. Look how many times it comes close to the median on its pullbacks. You might get a stink bid. Code it. Spring, I'm going to be quoting you so many times on stink bids. You know, so put some wicks down in low. And when you can see when we're zoomed in right now too, we're on a 4-hour. We can see this is our weekly trend. From its all-time high to its low. This gray is our daily trend. And we're just walking up it. Healthy retracements. Boom. This is where we told you to get in. Bottom of this consolidation, which was zoomed in, I think, on the 1 hours. Continue to walk up. Boom. There's an entry. Right. Still healthy. And when we look at where we're trying to go with this thing, cup and handle. If you're just seeing this show for the first time and this is your, you're going to watch a few of these trades play out where we're targeting some cool numbers. Here was a couple entries we just gave away on Filecoin that both of these hit. I mean, you could have already been in and out for some sick profits between the two. Ooh, what are we doing here? Let's get that out of the way. Middle of those two entries to its recent high on that, you're looking at a 9%. Still holding, you're in profits even after, a few days of pullbacks. Same thing with Filecoin. When we zoom out, look at the bigger picture. Yeah, we're having a pullback, but look at this. And this is on trend. This is working. This is IEF storage for AI. AI is the trend. This is our target, just to refresh people. That's not even the top. I'm not saying we can get to the all-time high, but if this is 151, we can ladder out in pieces, buy back in on dips. HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. I honestly can't remember if I did this on the show or not already. I've talked about this one a few times. I just can't remember where. And we did miss its recent pump, but we've seen nothing out of this yet. So I figured if you're new and you are just watching and you want to see how I approach this kind of stuff, I always like to at least mark up one. Full transparency, I did recently get back in at this compression point down in here. And I think we got lots of legs to run. And this is a great project. And there's going to be a lot of shit coming out in this bull run that is using this. So let's start out on the weekly to really start to see the picture. And always make sure whatever I use Binance. This was something I noticed because I had a few tokens on my Mexis. I trade all on Mexi. I use Binance on here because they typically have the longest data points, whereas other exchanges don't because they'll adopt some things later. So that's something to keep in mind. But we can see here's because if you do HBAR on different, where this came from is if you do this on different exchanges, I think Mexi literally lists it somewhere here. So it looks like it's at its all-time high right now. Sorry, let's get this all set up. The importance of using tools and keeping them on the same. So when you zoom in, you can see the data, you can understand it, which we were just kind of talking about a little while ago. Whatever colors work for you, I just try to make sure they don't contradict. So on the weekly, we can actually see a few times. You can go back. There was a breakout. There was your parallel channel breakout. There was one. There were lots of nice retests since, even that. But here we are right here today. And we have 3 days left in the current candle on the weekly of Hedera. It's a break here. And that's where it was. So it's right in the middle, but it's to that wick. I mean, we can go right down to the bottom where it ever was, but I mean, this was history. Let's just go to more recent. So that's why I have the bottom there. So let's drop weekly resistance, support, support here, and then up back on here, support. So these are going to be our two areas of contention if we can hold here, which no brainer, in my opinion. Go from our localized low to our last so and I say this is kind of like what I call quick and dirty. So when I at least see the information on the larger time frames, it starts to make a little more sense. So here's our path that we seem to be holding on the way up. Right? So target. Current price right now here today. $50. There's your 100. Imagine if you got it down here when I was telling everybody this bull. So obviously, we've just had a shit ton of ups. It's going to cool down, but it needs to fight this trend. It needs to stay above this line now. It's done it all the way down so far. This is just what all the technical data is telling us. We know there's probably going to be some pullback because there's been so much ups. Lots of price movement here. Holding it not only on the resistance, but also on the trend. So far, with 3 days left, strength. What do our indicators say? Oops. All the places, right? So if you got that bottom to that top, that's 106%. Damn right that's firing. We still have legs to run. This is what I always call a point of contention. This is where we want our retest on the lower time frames or to zoom in and go, what makes sense so you don't miss a massive bump. Because if you see some of these that we have hit, this can go from here to here tomorrow. Not saying it will, not financial advice, but of course. I'm just saying that's our target. That's on the weekly. On the daily, look at this information now. Look at that line. There's our trend line. Look at those wicks. And this was quick and dirty. We didn't zoom in close and line it up all tickety boo. All right, get a life. What do we got here? On this time frame, we have this little rectangle of support and resistance. Let's just copy that. Just for shits and giggles. I mean, it's pretty damn close. Huh. That shit weirds me out. Lots of big wicks. I've said it a bunch before. This does literally look like where you could get some stink bids in. Any entries in this area, I think will still hit the 1275. If you're worried you're going to miss, I don't think it will. I mean, you probably put a stink bid here and a stink bid here. You'll head it on the nice little down. Or this could be literally where it just takes off. And that's always what we talk about, is the possibilities in these kind of market situations. You just really never know at that point. We're playing with our best guesses. So if you never want to feel like you miss some pumps, hey, here's a red candle on a 4 hour. We have an up trajectory, a 3 down, 1, 2, makes sense. It might cool off and start to try to retest this area again. We can see this has been building support. A couple of wicks down. But if this turns into a micro bull, or a micro bear rather, sorry, and it starts to pull down, then yeah, we're coming into these entries. Right. And this is, I don't know, probably fractions of a bit. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. There we are. So these aren't small numbers, but if it takes off and goes, missing a couple of percent here before we're getting it in down here, yeah, that might work and take off, might not. These are the weird risks of bull markets. And then being near an all-time high, when this money's pulled out, this will go. Well, we're nowhere near that yet, as we talked about earlier in the show. So, and then we can start seeing, what are we on the 4? We have quite the compression area right here ready to go. Yeah, except full disclosure, I'm in it. I think we're going to walk. This will probably be on the show for a while. These are our new cup and handles compared to last month. We had some epic gains. If you're still in last month's trades and they're still pumping, or if you have questions specifically to them, you can ask me in the Discord. I can't obviously keep going over every single thing that we find in great positions. Hopefully you got into Canto yesterday. Speaking of great positions, since we talked about it, we were in here with the pullback today. You're still at 37%. Yay, Bob. That was awesome. Same with Pancake Swap. This was one we dropped a while ago. It really took off today. There was that 24% we were talking about on the entries with Cake. Can't remember where we gave it. It was somewhere, yeah, blew away. Would I be getting into Cake right now? No. Wait for that pull down. See, if it holds this line, strength, then get in on this line. Why? Let's look at it. It's in the same position. We could do a really nice cup and handle here. Right. This is our target, is this 148. Right. But don't buy now. Don't FOMO. You missed it. It's not over. Lots. Well, what we want to see is, will it hold the support resistance here? If it does, we're going up. If it doesn't, we're going to get some better entries in a second attempt. Indicators on the weekly are showing we're going up. Daily, pulling down, makes sense. In your sell and critical greed, of course it is. There's your flip. I think this is actually right around when we were talking about it. Wow. This was one of the Crypto Katie's. Can't wait to ship back. Gas. This was one we did a while ago as well, with thanks to Space Boy in our community. We gave you 2 entries. Boom, boom. Both hit. Right now, even with pullback, you're looking at 66% in a day. Epic. Absolutely epic. So there was a bunch of data that we've been doing, that we've been following. If you're in our Discord, you can ask questions on any of the trades we go over here, and we post them. Our team is phenomenal. They answer questions, and I've been posting some bangers ever since we've launched. If you missed the 5 days of giveaways at Christmas, where we did the Gucci Coda necklace as the grand prize, bunch of cool merch, the flask, clothing, blah blah blah, bunch of stuff. We got a new one coming for those that weren't at 8 Fest, because that was for the 8 Fest crew. Now we have friends and family in here. We're going to be doing coming up the 5 days of Fidgetals. And what that's going to be is we're going to have some people come on and talk about their projects and how the Web3 world translates to IRL. Pretty cool. And we got a bunch of stuff to give away. San Audio, I talked about them a little while ago. The stuff has arrived. How did they know? Those were our corporate colors. I love it. What a coincidence. So we're going to have some crazy sound tech and Web3 concept and ideas from Sanwear. That's Sanwear. If you haven't checked these guys out, you really should. They're doing some really interesting things, and we're going to be giving those away. We have some fuck render prints that are signed. We have some Diesel, some other Fidgetals coming. That's about the news of what's upcoming for our community, NFAOFC. We're going to be back here tomorrow at 7 to go over the money flow cycle. That first 4 that we always talk about, you should always be reviewing those before all your trades, unless you're long holding, so you know where the market is moving. The money just dictates the price. If it's flowing in, it's a good thing. If it's flowing out, you want to get out. So let's remember that. It's short term, of course, because we are still on our way. The great first big pullback hasn't happened. I don't call what happened at the all-time high pullback. That was rational, reasonable. We haven't seen the big one yet, and I don't think we're going to see it until a while. It's probably going to be that mid-80s mark, I think, because that's where everybody's going to be like, holy shit, and then it'll bounce, and then hopefully right back up again. It'll be interesting. So far, it's been doing what we said. I don't want to do too far forecast, but I get asked a lot. Outside of that, thanks again, everybody, for showing up. Your time, we appreciate it. Kate passes on her things. It's IRL, and that's what this is all about. Sometimes you need to take the time to touch grass, and we always appreciate that. That's why we take weekends off, and you should too. And time for family when needed. I felt like I rambled for a good 43 minutes, so I hope that was a lot of good information. Once again, thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night.